Oh yeah, it's big crime time. Crime on a level like you've never seen. A female cop gets caught seducing inmates, which is an absolutely ridiculous situation to be in. I don't know how this even happens. Let's find out.
A prison officer being accused of sleeping with an inmate.
You felt me, I was like soaking through my clothes.
Okay, dude, you need to warm me up to that kind of thing first. You can't just dive into that. You can't just immediately hit me with the most juicy. Okay, with the big, long. No, you can't just start with that. You have to warm them up first. You have to let them know what you're getting into. That is like a punch in the face.
After hearing rumors from other officers that had seen her and Jason Parker together, an investigation was opened up. Charlene thinks she flew under the radar and got away, but what she doesn't know is that the detectives have all the evidence they need, and they're about to expose and embarrass her in the most brutal way possible.
And we're all gonna watch it, because are we broken on the inside for watching this? Maybe. Is it entertaining? It still is, yes.
You got a lot of that head game. Oh my God.
Right from the start, Charlene plays innocent and pretends she doesn't know anything about the allegations.
We're notified of a possible improper relationship between you and Jacob Parker. So we're here for that. I just kind of want to talk to you about it and get your side of that story.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Have you talked to him on any jail phone calls?
Okay, you can go. No, you're a fellow police officer, so we believe you completely and 100%. We'll back you 100% till the end.
Anything like that?
No.
None at all.
Officer, I was just patting him down.
Charlene is sure that this will work, but the detectives have much more evidence than they're letting on.
And where would you think that this allegation would come from if there's nothing to it?
Well, I had a feeling this was coming. So there was an inmate named Coker, Justin Coker.
Okay.
He got out of here for I don't know what period of time, and he tried to contact me on Facebook. He sent me a message, and
That's weird.
Blocked him on Facebook.
Why would you be trying to contact your own prison guards on Facebook afterwards? It seems like such a strange thing to do. What, you wouldn't want any contact with them?
And I guess one time Parker was going back to Pequot to use the bathroom, and he was talking like at the window with me. Mm-hmm. And I guess Coker like didn't like that, which I had no contact with him or anything.
No, apart from the pat down. I had to really give him a pat down. Thought he had a weapon in his pants. Turns out he didn't. Trust me. I had a long, hard look at.
Parker had told me that he had gone up to him and was like, "Don't talk to her," or something crazy like that.
So I'm just not trying to be rude here. Why would you expect this conversation to come up from that? Like now, if that happened a few months ago.
Charlene claims that the only time she's had contact with Jason was a single time outside the jail bathroom, and it was a jealous inmate.
The only time? Okay, if you're in a prison and you're constantly around these people, why would you say that's the only time that you've ever had contact? Wouldn't that just make you more suspicious? You're like, you might be like, oh, I see him every now and then, but I've never really had a full-on conversation. We pass every now and then, you know, we see him in the halls, just the same I see everyone else. Very passing mentions, nothing more than that. Because if you genuinely had a relationship with someone in a prison, it's not like you're gonna be 100% stealthy under the radar. It's not like you have 100 sneak and you're passing the stealth checks every time you walk past someone. People are gonna clock on eventually. Like when you go into the washing cupboard with an inmate for a little private time, it's not like no one's gonna clock onto that. Eventually someone's gonna find out, and then they're gonna tell everyone else because there's snitches in there.
Is about to share some evidence that instantly proves that Charlene is hiding something.
I don't know exactly how it started, like who it started from, but I was told that it was brought to somebody's attention, and then we looked at jail calls, and there's jail calls between you and Parker.
Which is a crazy thing to do. Why would you? It's so easily verifiable. She's literally a prison guard. She knows that they keep a log of all of the calls. Why would she be like, nope, spoken to that person maybe once in my life, no more than that, except all of the jail calls that are registered and you have to say your name and you have to pay for. So there's a money trail. So don't you have to pay for that? There's a money trail as well. And they record all the calls as well in case they're doing crime on the phone.
Yeah, all that stuff's recorded. So I don't think you're being completely truthful. Well, I kind of know that you're not. And I'm not trying to be rude when I say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kind of trying to lay it out.
I'm trying to be rude, but you're a fucking idiot.
So can you kind of tell me what's going on here?
Go and lay it all out on the table.
I guess a few years ago, we talked, and then I ended up here, and then he ended up here. I didn't know he was here. I didn't, It wasn't anything like that.
Ooh, so it's an old flame. Someone that she talked to before prison time. And then fate had them turn up in the same place. Star-crossed lovers in prison. Not quite the same as Romeo and Juliet.
Apparently, Charlene and Jason knew each other before prison and messed around before they both ended up here. This led to them joking around with each other here, but nothing else. Or at least, that's what she claims. In reality, the cops have recorded phone calls from inside the prison that tell a completely different story.
So dumb.
So what about some of these phone conversations?
No, not here or the phone. I thought
No,
you were
I just
talking
mean
about phone.
conversations y'all are having on the phone.
No.
Since he's been in here.
Like sexual?
Well, I'm not saying having phone sex, talking about sexual acts. From what I'm listening to on the calls, I take it.
There, the game's given away now. He says, from what I'm listening to in the calls, and she's like, oh crap, they can listen to you on the phone, can't they? I seem to have made an error in my judgment. I forgot that they could do that.
You've given him oral sex at some point, is what
No.
I gather from these calls.
No, that was like in the world, but we never dated. We just.
Okay. What kind of conversations have you had with him since you started working here and he's been in the jail?
Just
about what happened after he got out.
okay, so you've had conversations. So we immediately know that she's lying. She's been called out for lying. She's like, they got my lie. What if I just lie again? I'll just try it again. It'll probably work this time.
And then the jail call recordings, have you been talking to him like while you're at home? Like he calls you from the jail while you're at home, or? Okay.
Yeah,
Just
you
15
can't lie.
minutes into this interrogation, Charlene's original story is seeming less and less like the truth. She's been caught in multiple lies, admitted to having sexual relations with Jason in the past, and calling him regularly from her own home. This is highly irregular behavior for a prison officer. And
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree. I don't think prison officers are usually calling the prisoners from their house or talking about how I don't want to continue that conversation they were having at the start of the video, but it seems, I would say, highly irregular to have those kind of conversations with an inmate, which also we need to make very clear that a police officer having these conversations with an inmate is an abuse of power. Okay? Just because it's a woman doesn't make it okay. It's still an abuse of power. You're still a person that has power over them. The police officer can slap you up if you do something wrong. They have complete control of your lives, especially in prison, where they control when you wake up, when you eat, when you sleep, when you work, where you can go, what you can do, literally everything. Even more so than even a parent.
It doesn't take a genius to realize something deeper may be going on. But the detective has some more questions pertaining to some more physical evidence.
I haven't listened to this, but apparently there may be some talk in the calls about photographs. Have you given him any photographs?
Where would he even keep
A photograph
photographs?
of his mom, which she had asked for, and of his dog, Jax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you given him any photographs of you?
No, because
So one of the things we're going to be doing is looking at cameras and stuff too. Has there been any times where y'all were alone?
Uh-oh. Dude, if they got caught on cameras, it's just over. Come on, you can't be a police officer, work in a jail, and not know where the cameras are. You gotta plan this thing out. If you're gonna do it, which you shouldn't, but if you're gonna do it, you have to plan it out. You have to know where the cameras are, you have to avoid them. You have to do a stealth hack check, like Watch Dogs. You need to hack into it, cross some wires, or at least put up a drawing instead, so it looks like there's someone else in there.
Or you go out of camera view or anything like that? Anything that's going to look suspicious that way?
I don't think so.
It's important to remember that Charlene has worked at this prison for a while now, and as such will know all the ins and outs of everything such as security camera blind spots and patrol officer schedules. You'd think that with all this knowledge, it'd be easy to hide a relationship with an inmate, but it seems that she forgot about
It's
a
in
few
Ohio.
vital pieces of information.
Yeah, it's in Ohio. I love how they always ask these questions that they already have the answer to, because they just want to make you lie. They're like, so there's no video of you doing this, right? And they're like, no, there's no video of me doing this. We wouldn't be able to catch you on a camera doing anything inappropriate that you weren't supposed to with this individual, would we? No, we wouldn't be able to do that. Well, we have video of you on camera doing inappropriate things. Oh, well, that's a shame, actually. That sucks.
Not least the facts that all phone calls placed from the prison are recorded. But thanks
Obviously.
to the detectives, she's about to be reminded of this fact
Oh,
in
no.
a devastating way.
Oh, here it comes.
Look at that.
Baby, guess what?
What, babe?
I just won the blackjack game.
Yay.
Oh man, I don't feel right listening to this, dude. It's literally every single relationship conversation is cringe. If you listen to someone else's relationship and they're having a private conversation, there is no possible way to make it not cringe. The whole point is it's supposed to be cringe because it's that connection that you have with someone else. And you can talk to that person in a way that would not talk to anyone else ever, which makes it cringe. That's what makes it cringe. There's no way, if your relationship conversations are not cringe, then something has gone
I
wrong.
just won $30.
I got a lot of stuff to clean and get rid of before you come home.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking you. I was trying to.
Yeah. I have a lot of stuff to clean before you get home. Just kidding. You're never leaving. You're staying in this prison forever. You think you're getting out? Nope. You're never getting out. You're going to stay in prison for the rest of your life. You're never coming home. We never get to have a family and a white picket fence and a dog. There's nothing for you. You're going to be in prison playing blackjack games for $30 for the rest of your life. Baby, I love you.
You think I have all these secret things?
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
What?
What? What do you mean?
I don't know. You probably got this weird sex swing hanging from the ceiling. Kenneth probably thinks it's a swing set.
Oh, if I had that sex swing, you better believe I'd leave that sucker up for you.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
What?
You'd let me put you in it?
Yeah.
Dude, you're in a prison! You are in a prison! How are you having this conversation? There's people around you. How do you get to be so confident to have that conversation in a
With a
prison?
gag ball and everything?
Oh no, dude, come on. Oh god.
Yeah, babe.
Listening
Oh,
to your
crikey.
own voice can be bad enough for some people, but listening to your own sexual phone calls in silence with two detectives in the room as you realize you've just been caught red-handed has got to be worse than...
It's so bad looking at like really old intimate conversations you've had with other people and thinking like, oh dude, I really said that. Or just remembering it in your head like, oh dude, did I really say that? Oh man, am I the cringe one? But having it played back to you with detectives in the room is Jesus Christ.
prison sentence they are in.
Yeah, it's incredibly creepy because of power difference. I completely agree. She's a police officer, again, has complete control over whatever this guy does. Prisoners have like very little rights, if any rights at all. He even knows if like he says something wrong, he does something wrong, then she can make his life much worse than it is already.
However, with the language they've used so far, there's no evidence that the pair have actually engaged in any sexual acts. But that changes quickly as Jason begins to directly
Dude, they got the clip.
incriminate Charlene on the call.
Uh-oh.
You look at me sometimes and be like, damn, my woman's fine.
Fine as wine.
Hmm?
And you got a live ass fucking head game. Oh my god.
It wasn't my best moments. I was just trying to get it done.
Oh, jeez.
Are you in bed?
Don't even get me thinking about that because it makes me so horny. Like,
Okay.
just
Oh,
going back
Jesus
and thinking
Christ,
about
dude.
Yeah.
that.
It gets you horny?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
You
God.
felt me. I was like soaking through my clothes.
Oh, God,
I get
dude.
very horny very easily.
You're in a
I always
prison.
wanna have it.
Good.
Like, that's not even...
Not good.
I mean, it's not like I just, like, look at someone, I'm like...
Is she gonna get locked up for this?
Horny. No, like, of course, like, I only get horny for you.
You can't see how that's.
There is no way to make the sentence, I only get horny for you, not incredibly hard to listen to in any other scenario. Oh, man. This is tough. This is tough.
Sounds from like my point of view, like a more recent thing than 3 years ago. No.
The audacity she has to say no after hearing that phone call is truly remarkable. But to her credit,
I mean, she has
she's
to say
not
no.
going down easily. The detectives try asking her if
I mean, she has to say no. If she says yes, then she's just going down immediately. Like, she's not going to give them the time of day. She's not going to give them the answer, the results they want immediately. They're going to have to work for that, all right?
she thinks Jason would cover for her, and she still doesn't break, sticking to her story that everything that happened outside of prison. Technically, this story could still be true with this phone call, but it definitely is odd for the couple to be recounting events from over 3 years ago in such detail, especially when earlier she struggled to remember any details about their relationship.
You talk about how profound.
Oh, she's not struggling. She just doesn't want to go down. Well, I mean, she already went down, but she doesn't want to go down on the charges of having a power imbalance and being, you know, I guess it's technically, I don't know if this counts as statutory R word or if that just counts for minors, but still, it feels like it does.
This was, like, just giving him this blowjob was, but you, like, don't remember anything about it. It's like
Can you recount this, BJ, to me, please?
Coming up with
in great
details,
detail.
you know what I mean, like if it's that profound.
I mean, I gave him a blowjob. How do you describe blowjob? I mean, is that what you want?
Can you tell me, did you got?
Yeah.
So if this is a
Did you give him that good?
that happened 3 years ago, I feel like you would kind of remember some stuff about it. Like I
Yeah,
feel
I
like,
mean, like we sat in a car, you know.
like when I asked you
We sat in a car specifically outside of prison.
who was there, him of course, like when y'all met or whatever. And then when I asked like who else, you said it was like a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
But like you can remember one
I mean,
chick's
I was with
name
my
after
friend
you
Chris.
think about it for 30 seconds. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I was-
not making sense to me.
You seem to have blanks in your memory when we get to certain details, but you remember being groped in the blowjob from 3 years ago. Find that hard to believe.
Hey, listen, it was a really good BJ. I mean, listen, if it's really good, then you're gonna remember it. It was like a life-altering occurrence, a brain chemistry-altering event. Just awesome.
Okay? This is your one chance to be honest with us.
Yeah.
Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done. Have y'all had any inappropriate contact?
Could
with-
BJ in a car? I doubt it. I guess it would be harder, right?
Whether it's groping, blowjobs,
Life-changing sloppy. Oh.
vaginal, anal sex, anything, hand jobs. Yes, I am being vulgar to get a point across.
Yeah, no, it's not. None of that.
Just as the detectives say, things really aren't adding up. Yet she's still sticking to her story. Or at least she was, before a switch flipped and she said this.
Oh, hold on. The only power imbalance here is the male detectives talking about explicit stuff that the women did, the no female detectives. I agree that it probably would be a better idea to have female detectives do this, probably. There's definitely more of an intimidation factor when there's two men ganging up on like one woman. I agree with that. But to say that that's the only power imbalance is kind of crazy. There's definitely a power imbalance between a literal police officer or a prison guards and the prisoner, because prisoners have basically no rights and the prison guards have complete control over their entire lives. Like, there's definitely a power imbalance there.
What is it?
I might have given him a blowjob in the back part of you.
In the back part of decoy? Okay. How long ago was that?
It was over 3 years ago. How long has he been in prison? Let me just do the math real quick. However long he's been in prison plus 1 day.
3 months ago.
The secret's out,
Oh.
and Charlene has confessed. But this matter is more complex than it may seem. In cases of officer-inmate relations, the main question that arises is the issue of consent. Given that Jason and Charlene knew each other prior to being in prison, it's not wrong to assume that consent went both ways in this interaction. However, in these cases, that's actually completely irrelevant.
Yeah, it's hard to give consent when you're literally in prison, locked up for 24 hours a day and have no rights.
According to a 2005 report, federal law criminalizes all sexual relations and contact between prison staff and inmates. And
Which it
that
should.
all sexual relations between staff and inmates are considered abuse, even if the act would have been considered consensual if it occurred outside of a prison. This is because of the huge amount of inmate abuse that was.
Wait, how do you punish her? You can't put her in prison? Yeah, what? Yeah, you can. You know there are other prisons than that one prison. You know there are women prisons as well. You can definitely put a prison guard in prison.
Observed in prisons. In 1996, it was
Not this one. Yeah, you don't put her in fucking this one. I mean, obviously, you're not going to put her in this one.
that between 12 and 14% of all prison inmates had been sexually assaulted, and the officers
my God.
were rarely punished. So to prevent this, a zero-tolerance policy was introduced to try and prevent abuse towards inmates. A policy, it seems, that Charlene completely ignored.
I'm gonna ask, but I feel like I know the answer. I'm losing my job.
Oh,
that's
honey,
not
you are
up to me. Internal affairs
probably going to lose a lot more than your job.
Investigation is separate from ours because it's two totally different things. So
Yeah. What kind of charges?
What kind of charges are you going to get me on? Giving good sloppy? Sir, is it illegal to give good toppy?
it's illegal to have sexual contact with an inmate as an employee.
In case you didn't know that already, by the way. Did you not know that?
Record, but I'll let you know as soon as I hear something.
I mean, would I go to jail?
That's up to the DA's office.
As it turns
Maybe.
out, Charlene would lose her job, and the only time she'd ever be allowed back in jail would be for the 100 days that she'd be made to serve after being found guilty of sexual activity with a person in custody.
Well, let that be a lesson to the people out there watching this that are prison guards. Don't give Toppy. That's bad. But it's also a lesson to subscribe to more patterrz so you can watch more reactions.